Venue of Champions League finals moved from Russia to France. Russia state-owned natural gas company Gazprom deal with Schalke 04 and UEFA in limbo. Russia possibly missing out of Qatar 2022. Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich facing calls to be stripped of his ownership. The Russia Premier League postponed for a minimum of 30 days. Today we are going to look into the effect of what is happening between Russia and Ukraine is having on football. My name is Delali Frankaute. It's always a pleasure to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Let's go right into it. If you are watching this, chances are that you've heard what is happening between Russia and Ukraine. Honestly speaking, I am still reading about the topic and I still really don't understand what is happening between those countries and what caused it. But if you are watching this and you can help us explain it, kindly do that in the comment section and it will be very helpful because I really want to know it. So we have seen a lot of people talk about the effects that the unrest between Russia and Ukraine is going to have or is having on the economy, on the oil sector, in the stock, and all the other aspects of life. But today, what we are going to do is we're going to talk about the effect that is having on our DS sports, soccer, or football. So let's start from this company, Gazprom. If you're a lover of the German Bundesliga or German football, then I'm sure you've seen this company. If you are somebody who has followed the German league very well, then you know that they've been a title sponsor of Schalke 04 since 2007. They've been one of the companies in the world that have invested hugely in football. In Germany, every Schalke 04 fan knows him because of their investment in the club and how they've always been a supporter of the club and their relationship with the club. They are one of the companies that have hugely been affected by what is happening because of bad press and other conversation. Because of their involvement in sports, when this happened, there were conversation around the world. There was pressure mounted on their partners to cut ties with them, and Schalke 04 was one of them. Schalke 04 was forced to make a statement until they finally released a statement stating that they are not going to display the logo of this particular company, that is Gazprom, on their shirts anymore until further notice. The statement read, following recent developments, FC Schalke 04 have decided to remove the logo of main sponsor Gazprom from the club shirt. It will be replaced by the lettering reading Schalke 04 instead. This statement means that whenever you see a Schalke 04 jersey from now, mind you, Schalke 04 are now in the Division 2 because they got relegated. So this means that whenever you see Schalke 04 playing a game henceforth, they are not going to have the famous Gazprom on their shirt, but it's going to read Schalke 04. This means that Schalke 04 are basically distancing themselves from the company and trying to let the world know that they are in no support of what is happening in Russia, or what is happening between Russia and Ukraine, and they will never take money from a company that is related to Russia. That is it. I am not a lawyer, I'm not a legal expert, but as a sports marketer, I know that if a company says that they are not displaying your logo on their shirt, then it's a big deal. Because in sponsorship, the details of every sponsorship, I don't know the details of Schalke 04 sponsorship with Gazprom, but as a sports marketer, what I know is that the go-to place of every sponsor of a football club is the shirt of the club, and they always make sure that they have a representation on that. But saying that they are taking it away from the shirt literally means that we're taking your money, but we are distancing ourselves from you. But let's look at this. It means that Schalke 04 themselves knows that their relationship with Gazprom is not in the right position. I don't know what Gazprom would say and the legal implication, because if Gazprom have honored their part of the deal, which is making the payment or whatever is required of them to give to Schalke 04, and Schalke 04 saying that we are going to display your logo on our jersey, but now saying that they are not going to display it, then it's going to be a problem. I don't know the details of that, but this is not a decision that was taken lightly, and this is a huge one. Maybe if you are far, you might think that it's something that looks like just not printing a jersey with the logo, but it goes above that. It might bring legal implication because Gazprom might take offense and say that we've made our part of the deal, and it's now your turn to honor it. It's something that I'm really looking into it, and I'm going to update you on that. So still on Gazprom, as I mentioned earlier on, they are one of the companies that have hugely invested in soccer or in football. They double as the title sponsor, or they double as one of the leading sponsors of the UEFA Champions League or UEFA and all its activities. Their current relationship with the European governing body is one that is still not the best as a result of whatever is happening. There's been calls, there's been pressure mounting on UEFA to make a statement on their relationship with Gazprom and perhaps distance themselves from them. There's a conversation of whether they are going to continue taking their money or they are just going to say goodbye to them. But the truth is, they invest a lot of money in UEFA competitions that UEFA, unlike Schalke 04, is still reluctant on making a decision, because the amount of money they invest in the Champions League and the other competition is one that they can't just make a layman decision on it. And that is one that they are still looking into, and that is basically the reason why UEFA has not made any comment or any statement on their relationship with Gazprom. However, broadcasting companies that broadcast the UEFA Champions League, the Europa League, or any competition that is related to the UEFA are still complaining or are making statements that they might be forced not to play the adverts of Gazprom, because Gazprom are title sponsors of UEFA. If a Champions League game is going on, you'll be forced to display their logo or do anything in way of promoting them. And these companies or these broadcasting companies are now saying that there's a possibility that they will get to a point they will stop playing their videos or displaying their logo. And that is a conversation that UEFA needs to look into it. And I'm sure UEFA is still looking at it. So this is also another challenge that Gazprom is currently facing. Still on UEFA, if you are someone who expects your club to win the Champions League, like Chelsea, unlike Manchester United, if you're a fan of Chelsea or any other club that you expect your club to win the Champions League, then I'm sure you know that the finals of the Champions League was initially slated to be taking place in Russia. However, due to this, UEFA has been forced to make a decision to move it away from Russia to France. This decision is basically based on what is happening in Russia, or what is happening between Russia and Ukraine. Others believe that you can't take a football game to a community or to an environment who basically don't support human behavior, or take a football game to a community who does not support international relations. So there have been pressure on UEFA, and UEFA today, as at 25th February, went for an ESCO or an emergency ESCO meeting and made a decision that there's no way that they are going to host the Champions League in Russia, but rather take it to France. This is how the statement. So the statement reads: the UEFA Executive Committee today held an extraordinary meeting following the grave escalation of the security situation in Europe. The UEFA Executive Committee decided to relocate the final of the 2021-2022 UEFA Men's Champions League from St. Petersburg to Stade de France in Stade de Nice. The game will be played as initially scheduled on Saturday, 28 May. This statement means that the finals of the UEFA Champions League has been moved from Russia to France. This is what it means. Playing or hosting the Champions League at your home grounds is one that gives you higher tourism and also develop your game. I'm not talking about the amount of money and the revenue that the stadium or the manufacturers or the owners of the stadium are going to make from UEFA. Russia, ever since they hosted the World Cup in 2018, is gradually growing to become one of the favorite countries as far as football in Europe is concerned. But gradually, this means that they are gradually going to lose that relationship. So the finals of the Champions League has been moved from Russia to France. Also, Chelsea's owner, Roman Abramovich, is facing calls to be stripped of his ownership. This is a conversation that is happening in the UK. The UK MPs believe that Roman Abramovich has been a key contributor to the Vladimir Putin's government, and they have a strong belief that he's one that has really contributed to whatever Russia is doing. The UK MPs believe that they've cited a document that implicates Chelsea's owner. And that means that he's one of the people that really supports Vladimir Putin's government and funds him in everything that he does. we clearly, personally, I still don't know how Chelsea might struggle and what will go into this particular decision, and I'm still monitoring it. But I don't know whether it's possible for UK to say that Roman Abramovich is no more the owner of Chelsea, and I don't know how they are going to do that. But it's still conversation in UK stating that he might be sanctioned, or there might be any punishment. There might be a stiffer punishment on him. But I don't think the Chelsea Football Club will be collapsed because of Roman Abramovich. I don't think so. And I'm really looking into how UK government will be able to punish Rama Abramovich, apart from not giving him a visa to come to UK, which he literally don't even have. So Russia might not be at the Qatar 2022. And the reason is not because they did not qualified, or the reason is not because they did not play good football. As a matter of fact, they are they are in the playoff stage and they have a game against Poland in March. But the new format, they will play against Poland, and the winner of Russia game will face either Sweden or Czech Republic, or face the winner of Sweden and Czech Republic's game. This particular format, or this particular four countries game, is around Russia, will be played around Russia, because if Russia ends up beating Poland, it means that the winner of the game between Sweden and Czech Republic will travel to Russia. So the two countries, apart from Russia, that is Czech Republic, Sweden, and Poland, came together on 24th February and wrote a statement stating that they don't see themselves traveling to Russia to play any football game, and literally condemned Russia's action. Basically, they don't want to have anything to do with Russia. So what it means is simple, that there's a possibility that Poland might just get a walkover. If this does not stop as early as possible, Poland might get a walkover. They might not play against Russia and qualify to the next stage of the playoff. This is because the World Cup playoff is just in March. That's next month. If Russia does not find a common ground with Ukraine and continues to do that, the world governing body, that is everything that is related to football, is literally trying to distance itself from Russia. And there's no way, with what is happening in Europe and with what and the conversation going on in Europe, they are going to allow Russia take part in the World Cup or its qualifiers. There's really been conversations that Russia needs to be banned from all other sporting activities, and as a result of that, the World Cup is also part of it. So this is something that might affect Russians that love football, and those that hope to qualify, or those that hope to see their country play at the World Cup or play at Qatar. So this is one conversation that is still going on. As we speak now, as at the time that I did this particular video, Poland, Sweden, and Czech Republic have written a joint statement condemning Russia's behavior, and have also written to FIFA seeking for clarification on what they are going to do. So there's a chance that Russia might not qualify to the World Cup because of what is going on between them and Croatia. The last but not the least, Ukraine Premier League postponed. So the Ukraine Premier League itself was halted for a while, and it was slated to take place or to start on February 25th. That is Friday. But unfortunately, because of what is happening on their soil, there's no way they can play good football. So they've suspended their league for another 30 days. It means that no football for clubs, no football for football fans, no football for anybody who enjoys football in Ukraine. And as a result, they're going to stay out of the game. So basically, these are the immediate effects on football. The venue of the Champions League has been moved from Russia to France. Russia state-owned natural gas company Gazprom deal with Schalke 04 and UEFA is hugely in limbo. UEFA is still reluctant on a decision yet, but Schalke 04 has stated categorically that they are not going to display the logo of Gazprom on their jerseys anymore until further notice. Chelsea's owner Roman Abramovich is facing a possible strip of his ownership, and it's a conversation that is still going on in UK because the people of UK are really determined on punishing Roman Abramovich because they believe that they've cited a document that states that he's supporting Vladimir Putin and his government. And also Russia might not qualify or might not be at the World Cup that will be happening at Qatar in 2022 because they have a game against Poland in next month, and Poland are willing to play them. The world is literally not in support of what they are doing. And also the Ukraine Premier League has been postponed for the next 30 days because of what is happening in their country. They basically cannot go ahead and play football when things are going down this way.